incredible story. I personally am inspired every single time you share your story. I just feel like, my goodness, I wish it was my downline. No. You know,
Thank you.
I'm looking for people like you to have them on the team. And you know, it's really, really quite inspiring every time we've been able to share ideas on how we can be able to make our lives, our businesses better. You really inspire me quite a lot. And today the team is looking forward to listening to that story of yours on how you've been able to succeed out of this business. Perhaps you could even share with us a few tips on how you've been able to succeed, because there are so many ladies that are listening to you here. And I'm sure that by them listening to your story and listening to a few tips on how you built your business, they can be able to borrow a lift and it can be able to uplift their business. Thank you so much. You can take.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Justus. I am honored, and it is such a pleasure to be able to meet the team in Uganda and my team Unstoppable Diamonds. And I want to say good evening, great people. And I want to say congratulations for taking time to be here this evening to learn from the best, because Justus is one of the best leaders, an upcoming great leader, actually an upcoming president team member. And he's also has touched a lot of people's lives. So together we are really making a good collabo, both of us. So thank you very much. My name's Grace Ngatia. And this evening, I'm very excited to share with you how my life started, especially for the guests who are here for the first time. If you're here for the first time, I want to tell you congratulations. And I want to say there must be a reason why your friend has been persistently, probably asking you to attend this Zoom meeting. And I'm praying to God that today you're going to open your eyes and see exactly what Justus has shared with us. Because 14 years ago, this opportunity was not shared to me. A total stranger was talking to some colleagues where I was working in an office. By profession, I'm a hawker. But being a hawker, I worked very, very hard and I became an accountant. I did a lot of hawking until I saved money and I became an accountant, because someone told me that if you become an accountant, you're going to make lots of money and you can support your family, because I come from a very humble background. We were born in a very poor place in Nairobi. Basically, when I call it a slum, it actually fits that name very, very well, because we never saw electricity where we were living. We were just living in one room, 5 children and 2 parents. And you can imagine, many times I slept hungry. Many times we borrowed even little food, like food and even something like a matchbox. We were actually living like the way people in villages live. And it wasn't very exciting to live that kind of life. So I really worked very hard when I was in school. But that's what ended up to be me. I ended up being a hawker because my parents got retrenched when I was in Form 3 and I happened to be the firstborn. So fast forward is that when I got myself a job as an accountant, this opportunity found me there. You see, watch where you are. There's a reason why you are. There's never a coincidence. That's what I've come to realize in this life. Because I complained a lot to my parents that I don't want this job. It's paying me less than, it was actually paying me $80, 8,000 Kenya shillings. And the boss was really mistreating us. And by then, my husband and I were only blessed with 1 child. And we were suffering. We couldn't be able to pay rent. We couldn't even be able to feed ourselves, leave alone supporting my own siblings and family now that I already have a job. And every day I felt like I want to quit. But my mother kept telling me, that is where your blessings will come from. That is where God is going to bless you. But for her, she used to say, you'll be promoted and one day you'll be a manager. But I think God talked to her in a different way. And now this evening, this total stranger was talking to some ladies who are looking very smart. And I remember the words that she was telling them. I do this business part-time. I am a banker by profession. My husband is also a banker. And with this business that we do part-time after work, we earn 30,000 Kenya shillings. That's like 300 US dollars. And I came closer. And I asked, the business you're talking about, could I do it? Can I leave what I'm doing so that I can come there and earn the 300 US dollars? And the lady said, no, this is a business you want to do part-time. And maybe when you overpass your salary, you can decide to do it full time. And I was really persistent. And I asked her, I really want to understand about this business. And that is how she invited me to a meeting. She asked me for a telephone number so that she can send me the information and the location. And sadly, I couldn't afford a phone by then. And she said, don't worry, just come to this venue. She wrote me on a piece of paper and gave me her phone number. And I went in the evening. For some reason that I know it was God who showed me the way, I did not assume this lady. I went to the meeting. I actually found people paying at the door. And I said, I don't have the 100 shillings. That's like $1. And this lady came and she paid for me. I don't know what she saw in me, but I was there. I listened. And what caught me is I want to ask the guest. I don't know if you're inspired by Justus, who says he started the business when he was in campus. And right now, the kind of influence he has made in Uganda, the kind of money he has made, that should inspire somebody in this call. And that's what happened to me. I asked myself, yes, I'm working. Yes, I'm from the slum, but they are saying this business is an equal opportunity for everyone. And here I can see a minister's wife. I can see doctors. I can see engineers. I can see teachers. They haven't talked about slum people. But if they have allowed me to come into this meeting and they are saying that if I make a decision to start, they will help me out, I'm ready to risk it. And that was my total conviction. I didn't understand the circles. I didn't understand the products. I didn't understand even the business concept. But I understood one thing. They said you can make money. They promised us that if you put effort in this business, in the next 2 to 5 years, your life will never be the same. And I remember asking this lady, are you serious that if I invest my 5 years or 10 years, or let's even say 20, I will come out of poverty? That is all the assurance I wanted. And for me, my argument was, I have been born in poverty. I have been in poverty until the poor calls us poor. So even if I took 20 years in this business, will I really make a loss if I'm going to get out of poverty? And my answer was no. And that alone motivated me to start this business. I remember I borrowed the money. So are you a guest here and you don't have money? I was reading one of the posts that Justus has just sent in a group, and he said that only 1% of working people in Uganda earn $1 million shilling in Uganda. And I was trying to translate that. That's around 32,000 Kenya shillings. Only 1% of working people. Those are statistics that have been brought out by the people in Uganda. So I'm imagining your guest on this call, and you're asking yourself, how much money do I need to start this business? Let me tell you, even if they are going to tell you to give us $200, I'd rather you go and borrow that money so that in the next 2 to 5 years, you can be in the bracket of double what the people are saying you cannot earn. Because that's what this opportunity is going to do for you. And Grace took that step of faith. I borrowed the money and I started. One of the benefits, because our topic today was becoming an entrepreneur. I will tell you one thing, our guest, and even for the new distributors who have just started, Neolife gives you an opportunity to become an entrepreneur at a very low cost. With very minimum, less than $100, I started this business. I did not have to think about rent. I never thought about bills. And I had a chance to get free mentorship. I got a chance to get people in a great new life community to work together, who are positive, who are excited, who have dreams. Where else in a slum could I have met someone like Justus, who is telling me, Grace, you need to work because we need to meet at Istanbul? I mean, where else are you going to get such kind of people? Now, those are the benefits that you're going to get into this business. I didn't realize that until I started doing the small steps that you are told. I came in and I started using the products. It was not easy for me to use the products, I can assure you that, because I didn't have money to buy a lot of products. I didn't have money to buy big stocks, but I used the little I had and multiplied it with my profits. And with the help of my sponsor, I was able to get customers. I made lots of profits. Let me tell you, people on this call, there's one thing that I want you to realize as you build this business. The guests and the distributors, profits are better than wages. If there is a statement I don't want you to forget as you build this business, is that profits are better than wages. You see, when you're building the business, starting the bonuses are not going to be big. My first bonus was less than $4. It was actually $3.5. That is not money that could have made me keep on keeping on in this business. And I remember many people laughed about it. This international business that you're so excited about, how can they even just pay you $4? I mean, that is so little to put your investment and your effort there. But you see, I was already making profits. Every day I would make a profit of 100 shillings. I would make 200 shillings. I would make a 500 shillings. There are times I used to make 1,000. And I put the profits together because I was taught in the trainings how to be disciplined with my monies. And I accumulated the monies and I was able to offset the debts that I had. I want to tell the people on the call, the grace you're seeing today. When I joined this business, my husband and I had not paid rent for 8 months. 8 months. The landlord today, they meet me, the agent, and they cannot believe the transformation that has happened to me. And they are like, your God is really working. You mean you're the one whose life has changed like this? We used to come with 4 padlocks because we want to lock the house because this girl has not paid rent. But I was able to offset that debt with profits from this company. I was able to save money and offset the debt of shopkeepers. I'm that kind of a person who used to buy food on credit. People used to have a book and I would go and borrow half a kilo of sugar, salt, steel wool, small things I couldn't afford. And then I would pay when I get the money. And I had 3 shopkeepers who I owed money. From the profits of Neolife, I was able to offset that. I had little debts. You see, when you meet someone who has debts, they borrow just as 1,000 or $1. They go and pay Nancy. I get that 1,000 from another person. I borrow another one. If this one makes so much noise, I borrow another one. And that's how I used to live. And let me tell you, the profits made me offset all the people I had borrowed debts. And I became financially free in that setup of borrowing every single day. And I got excited about it. And I was told, Grace, the business is not just about selling. So I want to come to the next point. Distributors, you're there. I know maybe you love selling because you love to make the profits. But let me tell you, our business is about building a network. It's about sharing that excitement that you're having. If you've been able to make $1, $2, $5 every day, don't keep quiet. Go out and share with another person. Guess what? There are people, they are just complaining. The economy is bad. I hate my job. I just need to work because I don't have any way out. I want to start a business, but I don't have big capital. I want to start a business, but I don't know which one. Distributors, open your ears. Just listen. Just talk and listen. And you're going to find these people. And when they say that, be quick to offer a solution. Tell them, by the way, I have something important that I can share with you, and it can be able to settle the need that you've just talked about. And so Grace started telling people, I'm excited about life. I used to have debts. Today I have no debts. I didn't have money in the wallet. Today I have money in the wallet. Today I can go to the supermarket and move a trolley, putting in shopping inside there. And people would ask me, what is this that you're doing? And let me tell you, I would bring them to a meeting because I didn't understand how to do a presentation. That brings me to another concept of you are going to get mentorship for free. You're going to use other people's experience. People in Uganda, you are going to use the experience of Justus and the other leaders there to become successful. People in Kenya, we have directors, we are going to help you. We have Grace, we have Joanina, we have Mary Jane. They are going to show you what they have done so that you don't have to struggle alone. And guess what? Your success is going to come before you realize. And that's what Grace did. I started sponsoring people. I sponsored 1. I sponsored 2. I was told it's important to follow what we call 3 in 30. And it's important you follow a 3 in 30. It's important you get that pin called a 3 in 30 pin. And when I got it, the business just blew because the 3 people also wanted to become a 3 in 30. And I remember when I did that, I became a manager. And my first check, like I said, was $4, less than $4. 8 months down the line, I became a director. And my check was $250. Remember, I'm still making profits, but this is a bonus. And that started changing my life. I'm doing this business full time. So if you're here and doing full time, what did Grace do? I was told I must be able to discipline my time. I must be able to plan my time accordingly. As a poor person I was, in the mind and in the pocket, there are some characteristics I had. I only had to get to the office at 8. And when I left work, if it's 6 o'clock, I would leave the office and immediately come to the bus stop and start queuing because there are no buses. I changed that behavior to what? I rose up early and I was in town at 7 a.m. to meet my mentor. And for 1 hour, I would build my business. I would meet with my mentor and she would teach me what is 3NN. She would teach me what is Super 10. She would teach me what is Wash and Wax. And the whole day I had something to share with my friends. Then in the evening, I would attend a training like the one we are having on Zoom, but then we used to have them physically. So I've been able to invest 2 hours in my business. During the weekends, I was told, Grace, you must not attend everything. Some things you can delegate. If it's a wedding and it's not really a very close person, attend the first service. You don't have to go to the reception because you need to build your business. And after all, Grace didn't have money to even give those gifts. So I was told, Grace, you must work like successful people do. And I don't know about Uganda, but here in Kenya, the successful people will come to the social event, but they will only come for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. They come out and give their donation, they sit for a cup of tea, and they leave very, very fast. And I was told those are some of the things that I need to start doing. So I still work on my social events, but I'm not there 100% because I need to create time to build my business. So are you here, a distributor and a guest, and are wondering how to really maneuver doing the business full-time and part-time? How are you going to make it and you're working? You just need to plan. Be an early riser and be a late sleeper because you need to create time so that you can get your freedom. I did that, and in 1 year, I had gotten my income to $500. That is over 50,000 Kenya shillings. And when the company took me to the Windsor Golf and Country Club, guess what I did? I decided this is a company I want to build for the rest of my life. If they can take me and my husband for a holiday, for a whole 1 week, we sleep and dine like the king, I really need to understand this business. And by the time I left the Windsor, I came in and I resigned my accounting job and I put my full effort into this business. Some of the benefits I've gotten, I've been able to grow personally. I came here without confidence. I came here without knowing what to tell people. I came here not believing I can do it. If there is someone who was so stubborn to their sponsors that I cannot do it, it was Grace. Every time they told me, Grace, you have potential, I told them, you have no idea where I am coming from. And at one point, I had to take my sponsor to my slum place. This is where I was born. This is where I was brought up. See the people. She tried to do presentations and nobody joined. And I told her, do you realize I can make it? But she said, Grace, there is a seed in you. There is potential in you. And let me tell you guys, if Grace has done it, that is why we see potential in you. If Justice has done it, that is why we believe everybody can do it. And the mentors you're having, they are going to do one thing. They are going to unleash the full potential in you. They are going to make you come out of what you have never believed you can. Just give them a chance. When they call you, please go and learn from them. Disturb them. Be a pain to your sponsors. Don't say you're calling them too much. Don't say you're spending their time too much. You really need to sponge a lot of information from your sponsors and upline so that you can get what they have. And that's what Grace did. And today I'll tell you, personal development, courage. Have I achieved some dreams? Yes. From very little dressing, I didn't have nice clothes. I've gotten them from Neolife. I didn't have a phone. Today I have a beautiful phone. We could not eat well as a family. Today we are able to eat very well as a family. We were living in a small house. Today we live in a beautiful big house, fully stocked of all the things that good houses have. You know, I could not imagine I can have a fridge, a good sofa set. I can have, you know, those things that people have in their homes. I never had them because we used to have one bed. It is the one we sit on and it's the one we sleep on. But life has changed for grace. I've been able to support my siblings and they have been able to go through their high school levels and they have finished. And today everyone is supporting their own family. Because remember, I said I'm the firstborn and my parents got retrenched. We've been able to educate our children to good schools. Today we are blessed. We have 4 beautiful children. We have been able to invest in plots in this Nairobi. We have 4 title deeds in this country of Kenya. We are driving our first car from this company. And I love the number plate. I don't know if I'll ever forget about it. KCJ 299J. It's a beautiful car. See, when I'm driving, I just find telling God, God, thank you. God, you are one who blesses. And if I can do it, I need to tell a lot of people about this opportunity. Because the person you're looking and listening to this night, I could not afford less than $2. And when I think about it, I become so emotional. Because if you just allow Neo Life to change your life is not going to be the same. Have I traveled? Yes, I've been able to travel. I've been to Cape Town twice. I've been to Hong Kong, China. I've been to Sun City. I've been to Durban. And of course, I've already packed because I know I am going to be on that flight at Turkey going to Istanbul. Have I been able to impact people in the business? Yes. I've been able to change a lot of people's lives. I have people in my team who are driving, people who are living in beautiful homes, courtesy. I have a lady that I honor and I value very much, Mary Jane Arnold. She was earning $1 every day. She was a casual laborer. She used to farm for people and she's living in a mad house. She's having arthritis. Her firstborn, they cannot afford to pay school fees. So she's been employed as a house help. But courtesy of this business, Mary Jane Arnold is driving her own car, living in a well-furnished, stone-built house from Neo Life. We have traveled with Mary Jane to Sun City. Mary Jane, I've seen her educating that lady who was in a house help. She took her out from that house help job, and today she is having a degree of her own, courtesy of this business. And I've seen the son going through Meru University, doing an IT course, fully paid for by this opportunity. That is just one of the lady I can talk about. I have 7